Hello everyone and welcome back to another Age of Empires 2 Definitive Edition Civ guide. Last time I took a look at the Aztecs and how they should be played, and in today's video I'll be moving on alphabetically and looking at the next Civ. So today we're going to be taking a look at the Kings of the Camels, and just honestly a Civ that has excellent cavalry, but really nothing else to back it up. So in today's video, you probably guessed it, we're going to be talking about the Berbers. And the Berbers are, they're a fun civ to play, but they have some weaknesses. So they have what might be considered an eco bonus. Their villagers do move faster compared to other civilizations, but really moving faster does not really provide them with any eco bonus whatsoever. You might think that it reduces like the travel time between like a lumber camp and a wood line, but in reality, there is a little bit of a difference, but it's not really affecting your income of resources. So it's a bonus, but it's not great. The only other thing that moving faster is good for in the Dark Age would be to lure in a boar. If you're a newer player and struggle with doing a boar lure, the Berbers are certainly a good civ to kind of practice with. But other than that, moving faster is not really going to help you in the long run, and it's not going to do anything to help you get your night rush set up for the castle age. So they do have some pretty good other techs to kind of help things along. They do have a tech that allows their camels to regenerate health, which is, fairly good, and they have an excellent team bonus that allows their castles and teammates' castles to work 25% faster. That is a very, very valuable team bonus. If your teammates have a unique unit that has a pretty long creation time, the Berbers are certainly the ally you want to kind of help you get things going. The Berbers are also an excellent civilization to have on a team because they provide everyone with a unique unit from the archery range to the Janitor. The Janitor is a mounted skirmisher that, the only thing special about it is it has a few more hit points. It's mounted so it moves faster, but really it's only good against archers. It has more counters than a standard skirmisher. Halberdiers and any other skirmishers as well will deal with the Janitor just fine. So it's a fine unit to have with you and works good with teams. Some other team civ bonuses kind of help make it into a better unit for them. But the Janitor is simply just a mounted skirmisher that's better in some situations, but not a game changer overall. So, as I mentioned earlier, the Berbers have an S plus tiered night rush. Everything at their stable costs, a lot less than other civs. You can pump out knights very, very quickly, and you're not going to be paying a lot for them. So if you manage to get yourself to the castle age very, very quickly with a standard rush fast castle, you're going to be able to go into a lot of knights and be able to swarm your opponent early. Now, if you kind of can't capitalize on a night rush early on, the Berbers do have some pretty decent late game options. However, the later the game goes, the more they tend to struggle. The Berbers get access to the Camel Archer as their unique unit, and it is a anti-cavalry archer cavalry archer. It's fantastic against other cav archers. So civilizations such as the Mongols, Cumans, and Magyar cav archers, they all get destroyed by the Camel Archer. It's a fabulous unit. It fires relatively quickly. It's great in that aspect, but the issue is that you can't really deal with any mounted units very well. The Berbers' biggest weakness is a civilization that has excellent cavalry units. If you're going up against, say, the Lithuanians, you're going to have a real big struggle. And the main reason for that is, Berbers do get fantastic cav units, but they do not get the halberdier upgrade. So anyone that can spam great cavalry in your face, you're not going to be able to deal with it very well. Your own cavalry is fine, but the only real anti-cav unit you have that has good upgrades on it is going to be the heavy camel. And heavy camels cost gold. So you're looking at some pretty intensive gold units, and when the gold runs out, you're left kind of helpless. So you just gotta be careful to not let your opponent mass up a lot of cav units, and you should be okay. Now, the Berbers also lack good siege. They only get capped ram. They do not get siege ram, which is not necessarily the end of the world, but I mean it does hurt them quite a bit. They really can't deal with siege with their camel archers, and the Genitura is terrible against rams and stuff. So really, if you go up against a civilization that can counter archers and mounted units, you're pretty much done. There's really nothing you can do about it. The Goths are, I mean, the bane of the Berbers' existence. They absolutely will destroy anything the Berbers can produce. So a good civ such as the Goths will absolutely wreck the Berbers. The Lithuanians deal with the Berbers relatively easy. And there's just a ton of civs out there that can easily deal with the Berbers. The Berbers are meant to be played in a very, very aggressive way. You gotta make sure you pump out your mounted units quick, swarm your opponent, and make sure they do not get any counter units up. So in that sense, they do require a bit of skill to play. If you are a newer player to the game, the Berbers are not really a civilization that you should be trying to figure out early on. I mean, they're not a hard civ to play, but your issue is that you can kind of get tempted into going into just kind of mounted units and not really focus on a balanced composition. So for a newer player, they're probably not the best civ to go with. Experienced players can use them quite well and honestly do very, very well with them. But if you're not, if you're just kind of starting out like ranked queue and stuff, and you're kind of used to relying on your unique unit is so situational, it's hard to rely on it. So, I mean, the camel archer will do great against other mounted archers, but if you don't know that, you're going to be struggling quite a lot. If it's just going up against other cav units, such as a paladin, the paladins will absolutely wreck camel archers. So just be very careful with that. And the only other thing that the Berbers have going for them is definitely the navy. They are a very, very good naval civilization. They're almost top tier. I mean, they're not as good as like the Portuguese and the Viking stuff, but they do have a pretty full tech tree, and it's very, very useful. So on maps that actually include a lot of water on them, such as rivers, cenotes, and coastal, anywhere that you can really have a battle where your land unit is going to be backed up by your navy, the Berbers do exceptionally well. They are such a great civ to play if you can incorporate your navy into a battle. They do get cannon galleons, they do get fast fires, I mean, they get fully upgraded galleons. They are a fantastic naval civilization. So like I said, any map that can really help you incorporate your navy into your army, it's going to prove to be a huge benefit to you. So the Berbers can hold their own on water maps, on islands. I mean, you do have a good navy, but at the same time, you don't have a good eco bonus to really back things up with to get things going. So just kind of keep that in mind. So the Berbers are best on land maps and kind of maps with minimal water. If there's too much water, they're going to struggle quite a bit. So Arabia in a 1v1 game, they do quite well if you can get your mounted units out quickly and prevent your opponent from building up a large army. If your opponent is able to build up a lot of anti-cav units, you're going to struggle a lot, and it's honestly going to hurt you in the long run. So those are kind of my thoughts and opinions on how the Berbers should be played. I think they're a decent civilization overall, but certainly not the best. They're a fun one to mess around with from time to time. So that's all I got for this video. If you guys enjoyed it, don't forget to like and subscribe to Master and Terra Gaming, and leave a comment down below on what you'd like to see next. So have a nice day, and hope you enjoyed the video.